can see that you're oh so.
Still wasn't bad, man. I hear the voices when I'm dreaming.
Screaming out the words I dread. I think I love you.
Hello, and welcome back to Retro Rewind. Today, we're dissecting 15 of the most polarizing bands of the 1970s. The decade that gave us some of the greatest music ever recorded, and some of the most divisive.
Yeah, so you'll get your money's worth. Greatest show.
For every fan screaming in the front row, there was a critic sharpening their pen in disgust.
Love will keep us together. Think of me, baby.
These weren't necessarily bad bands. They were lightning rods for controversy. Some were too soft, others too slick, and a few were just too successful for their own good. One of them was even booed by their own fans mid-tour, so stick around because we'll get to that later. Now let's start with a group whose dance floor dominance made them the ultimate love or hate act of the decade.
I must go home.
Number 1. The Bee Gees.
Gotta do the things I wanna.
When disco fever hit, the Bee Gees were its kings and its scapegoats. Their smooth falsettos and glossy production powered Stayin' Alive and Night Fever from the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack to global domination. But for many rock fans, they symbolized everything fake and commercial about the late 1970s. As the disco backlash grew, hate for the Bee Gees turned into a cultural movement. Record burnings, radio bans, even Disco Sucks rallies painted them as public enemy number one. The irony is the brothers Gibb were brilliant songwriters who had already conquered multiple genres. But in the heat of disco hatred, nuance was the first casualty. But long before disco divided the world, television gave us a pop family that divided critics even worse.
Don't take your love away from me.
Number 2. The Partridge Family.
They say that breaking up is hard to do.
A made-for-TV band that became a real pop phenomenon and a real target. The Partridge Family charmed America with bubblegum hits like I Think I Love You and Doesn't Somebody Want to Be Wanted. But critics refused to treat them as musicians at all.
I beg of you, don't say goodbye.
With session players handling instruments and actors lip-syncing on screen, they became the poster children of manufactured pop. David Cassidy's teen idol fame only made things worse.
I beg of you.
To rock purists, they weren't artists. They were product placement with a catchy hook. But millions sang along anyway, proving that sometimes, fake or not, the formula works. If you thought that was too plastic, our next act managed to be both genuinely talented and totally despised.
For your applause, we'll do anything we can do.
Number 3. The Osmonds.
We'll do anything we can for your applause.
The Osmonds had talent, discipline, and dazzling smiles, and that's exactly why rock fans hated them. They scored hits with One Bad Apple and Crazy Horses, but in an era ruled by rebellion and excess, their clean-cut Mormon image felt painfully square. They didn't drink, didn't swear, and harmonized like angels. Critics called them Stepford rockers too wholesome for radio. But while music magazines sneered, arenas filled with screaming teenage girls. Donnie became a pin-up, the family cashed in, and the hate only intensified. For some, the Osmonds were living proof that purity and rock just don't mix. And then came the blue-collar rebels critics couldn't stand.
Listen to me and return me.
Number 4. Grand Funk Railroad. To working-class America, Grand Funk were heroes. To critics, they were a punchline. The Michigan trio sold out Shea Stadium faster than the Beatles, yet reviewers trashed them as loud, clumsy, and brainless. Songs like We're an American Band and Some Kind of Wonderful made them crowd favorites. But Rolling Stone called their music the worst thing to happen to rock since the kazoo. Fans didn't care. They bought millions of records and made Grand Funk rich beyond reason. The more critics hated them, the more loyal their audience became, proving that sometimes spite sells. And while these guys were too loud, the next duo were hated for being way too nice. Are you enjoying this video? If you are, please hit the like button. It's free and really helps the channel grow.
Do that to me one more time.
Number 5. Captain and Tennille.
With a man like you.
Daryl Dragon and Tony Tennille were the smiling faces of soft pop perfection, and that made them irresistible targets.
Oh, baby.
Love Will Keep Us Together and Do That to Me One More Time topped the charts, but rock fans rolled their eyes.
Do that to me one more time.
Their image was pure middle America, cheerful, polished, and completely unthreatening. As punk exploded, Captain and Tennille became symbols of safe, sanitized radio pop. Critics called them musical wallpaper, but even haters couldn't escape their hooks or deny that beneath all that sweetness, they were consummate pros. But now, it's time to pay off that first tease, the band whose own fans turned against them.
How can it be for me?
Number 6. The Bay City Rollers.
All I say, can't put it off.
Roller mania swept across the globe like a tartan tsunami.
Bye bye, baby, baby, goodbye.
And so did the backlash. The Scottish teen idols drove young girls wild,
I can love you, but why begin it?
but everyone else rolled their eyes. Rock journalists called them bubblegum clowns and mocked their matching outfits. Hits like Saturday Night and Bye Bye Baby made them sensations, but also lightning rods for ridicule. Critics sneered, punk fans spat, and even parents joined the chorus. At some shows, fans booed when they didn't get the hits. Stardom burned fast and loud, making them one of the decade's clearest cases of fame turning on its own creation. We've covered the biggest lightning rod bands so far. Which of these surprised you the most? Drop a comment and let us know your thoughts. And from screaming teens to philosophical prog, the next band made everyone roll their eyes.
To get a glimpse beyond this illusion, I was soaring ever.
Number 7. Kansas.
Still was a madman. I hear the voices when I'm dreaming.
Kansas brought violin solos and spiritual lyrics to the American heartland.
Carry on, you will always remember. Carry on,
And critics absolutely hated it. Progressive rock fans called them copycats. Regular rock fans called them pompous.
carry on my wayward son.
Songs like Carry On Wayward Son and Dust in the Wind became classics, but also magnets for mockery. British prog purists said they lacked sophistication. US rockers said they were too arty for barroom rock. Kansas couldn't win. Even in success, they lived in a middle space, too deep for radio, too shallow for philosophers. Still arenas filled with believers, so somebody was listening. But the band that followed took that same style and went even bigger and got roasted for it.
We can challenge the schemers who cheat all the rules.
Number 8. Styx.
Give me all the love.
For Styx, success came with sneers. Critics called them a laser show pretending to be a rock band, while fans devoured every dramatic riff. Their mix of hard rock, synths, and storytelling put them on top and in the crosshairs. Songs like Come Sail Away and Renegade split audiences completely. Were they brilliant or ridiculous? It depended on who you asked.
I've got to be free.
Styx proved you could be loved and loathed at the same time. Still think that's excessive? The next group literally spun their keyboards in the air. Oh, by the way, I will be posting more videos like this, so please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive from Retro Rewind. Okay, on to the next.
Cast it to the sea.
Number 9. Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Watch
ELP were progressive rock at full blast. Keith Emerson attacked his keyboards, strapped them to spinning rigs. Even stabbed his organ with knives. To fans, it was virtuoso theater. To critics, it was rock gone mad. They turned pieces like Carnival 9 and Lucky Man into stadium anthems. Reviewers called them pretentious, pompous, self-indulgent. Punk practically defined itself against bands like ELP. But no one could deny they pushed the limits of what rock could sound like on stage. Meanwhile, over in America, another band was being accused of corporate rock snobbery. Before we go on, tell us in the comments. Should we listen to what the critics think about these hated bands? Drop a yes or no in the comments.
City girls just seem to find out early.
Number 10, The Eagles.
And your smile is a thin disguise.
The Eagles had it all: hits, harmonies, and California cool. And that's exactly why people loved to hate them. Their sound defined the 1970s, but critics said it was too polished, too perfect, too smug.
There ain't no way to hide your lying eye.
Hotel California and Take It Easy were adored and despised in equal measure. Their perfectionism, the lawsuits, even the onstage fights, all added to the narrative that they took themselves too seriously. Yet when they split, everybody suddenly missed them. Even hated bands leave a hole. But even the world's biggest pop star wasn't safe from critical hate.
And the first one said to the second one, I hope you have it.
Number 11, Wings.
You feel like letting go.
When Paul McCartney formed Wings, expectations were impossible. Every album was measured against the Beatles, and critics almost always said it fell short. Songs like Band on the Run and Live and Let Die were massive, but critics still pounced. McCartney putting Linda in the band became a favorite target. Her vocals were mocked, her playing dismissed, and some reviewers acted personally offended that Paul wasn't chasing another Sgt. Pepper. And yet Wings sold out arenas, scored number ones, and proved Paul could still write songs the entire world wanted to sing. If that backlash sounds harsh, the next act had it even worse, for being too wholesome to rock.
Baby, baby, feels like baby, things will be alright.
Number 12, The Carpenters.
Singing forever, singing forever.
Karen Carpenter's voice was flawless, and somehow that was the problem. In a decade obsessed with rebellion, distortion, and danger, the Carpenters sounded like sunlight through a kitchen window. Critics called them bland, suburban, music for parents.
From this moment on, you and me.
Songs like Close to You and We've Only Just Begun became wedding staples, but rock writers barely took them seriously. It took decades for people to admit how good they really were. In the 1970s, being flawless could actually get you hated.
Moment.
And then came a band who painted their faces, spat fire, and still couldn't buy respect. Number 13, Kiss. Kiss weren't just a band, they were a spectacle. Fire-breathing, blood-spitting, platform boots, and mountains of merch. Critics said it was a cartoon. Fans said, who cares? It's fun. Songs like Rock and Roll All Night and Detroit Rock City became anthems, but their massive marketing machine made purists gag. Clowns in grease paint, one reviewer wrote. Gene Simmons didn't mind. He was counting the money. Kiss proved you could be mocked by critics and still own the decade's lunchboxes. And if Kiss took the makeup too far, the next band took soft, shiny pop to a level rock snobs just couldn't forgive. Number 14, bread.
Every little thing only time will tell.
Bread had already been dragged once by rock purists, but it's worth repeating why.
The finest shoes I ever knew.
At a time when bands were turning amps up to 11, Bread leaned into melody, romance, and gentleness.
Smile at your face.
For some listeners, that was unforgivable. Make It With You, If, and Baby I'ma Want You were beautifully crafted, but they became shorthand for not real rock. Male fans hid their Bread records behind Zeppelin albums. Still, the songs sold, couples slow danced, and soft rock quietly won. And finally, the band critics, punk fans, and even pop fans loved to hate.
In your eyes,
Number 15. ABBA.
I can see that you're rose.
ABBA were everything the 1970s rock elite despised. Polished, precise, and painfully catchy. Their pop perfection was treated like a crime against authenticity. During the punk explosion, Dancing Queen, Mamma Mia, and Take a Chance on Me were glitter invading the barricades. But for every sneer, a million people danced. Fernando and Waterloo became global earworms. Time did what time always does. It exposed the snobbery. The band, once dismissed as sugary Europop, became one of the most beloved pop groups in history. The 1970s were an era of bold experimentation and bold opinions. Every band on this list earned their share of scorn, yet all of them shaped the sound of a generation. Hate fades, but great music endures. Which of these most hated bands do you secretly love? Let us know in the comments. Hit like and subscribe to Retro Rewind for more deep dives into music history.